Hi, welcome back to our second episode of our second season of Starpoint Gemini Warlords playthrough. Where in the last episode we did our tutorial missions, well, most of them. When I came back to do this episode today, we normally are supposed to have a mission to go out here and actually upgrade our main station first, and then come out here and upgrade this thing. But for some reason, it wasn't allowing me to even go into the construction building, so I wasn't able to do anything like that. Plus, also, I was told in the comments down below, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but certain things don't spawn in the game when we do the tutorial missions. So I'm back. His name is Tanveris, if I'm saying that right. Pretty much what it is there's a bug where if we do the tutorial missions, the War Masters they won't spawn. But since I was actually having a little other bug about the quest, I just kind of went back and started the game from scratch without the tutorial missions in it. And we are actually right here. We're pretty much where we were at the start, but we have a little bit more experience gain. But also, in the past playthrough, where are you? Off to the right. Should be right here. Ah, there you are. Here, I'll contact her. She was off in the winds, and I didn't know where she was. So you can get a lot of information, just background information from her about her dad and about Concord. But when I actually loaded the game up after I came over here and got the perks and stuff and came back, she was sitting right here. So I can have her follow me around if I want. All you do is highlight her, and you go and click follow. If you click follow again, she'll just sit there. And you can also, come down here, click on her, and have her go to wherever you want. But on that note, I was also saving up some minerals, and doing so, pretty much waiting. But I was also trading in between this station if you want to get some quick cash, I guess you'd say. I'll show it to you really quick. Pretty much the best, I think it's the best one right at the start. I could be wrong. I go buy as much fertilizer as possible. It's going to cost 5,270 per. That's per, not all for all 70. That's per. And also, if you want to see where the best known prices, you come down here. Since I only know 2 stations are worlds, you can know the prices. So it's a little over 2,000. It's 2,500 difference. So all you have to do is buy as much as you can and just come over here
Setting course.
and trade it. You do get a decent amount of experience. I've gotten almost a full year or full level just by doing 4 runs or 5 runs. I also killed a couple of ships, but still, it's pretty decent amount. You'll see it once you actually leave the planet. It's gonna just take a little bit, but it's a decent amount. And once you actually have a cargo ship that can actually hold the max amount they sell at one given time, then you'll be making over $1 million profit per run. So it's later end game, you can make a decent amount of money.
Initializing scan.
I also did some salvaging as well. Let's go ahead and go back in.
Realigning course. Affirmative. Engage sublight.
If you right click on the object, it should auto dock you. So you come down here. If you sell all, you won't actually see exactly how much you make. But if you come down here, and we make, it's 542,000, so it's not bad. we make a decent amount. Let's go ahead and come in here. I want to actually go ahead and T drives. I'm not too worried about. They're kind of expensive right at the moment, but I actually want scavenger swarm. I want to say drones, and I'll say scavenger drones all the time, so be warned. Let's go ahead and go back out. Ship equipment. Okay, it's auto.
See you again soon, Captain. Safe travels.
My suggestion is to actually buy
Affirmative.
stuff here
Changing
as well,
course.
so you can
Engaging sublight.
make money on both trips. But the amount from here to here isn't as much as from your station to here. So I'm sending out my civilian fleets. They don't always come back as a profit, but well, sometimes they do. Sometimes they pretty much like break even. And because of that, I leveled up and I got a skill point and perk. So here, I'm just gonna go ahead and salvage. One thing that I don't know if they've changed it since the last patch, but I've noticed that it doesn't matter how big the derelict is, you get roughly the same. So like a small ship like this one is going to get anywhere up to 20, and we got 16, and you can go and scavenge like a carrier, and you'll still only get up to 20.
Engage
I
sublight.
didn't change that. Lower the amount you get from, say, the smaller ships, or raise the amount you get from bigger ships, because it's kind of like, I don't know, it's not worth it. Or have it so the bigger ships require more like scavenger drones to actually salvage. Like it'll take like 2 or 3 to scavenge a large ship, but you get more out of it, So I'm gonna auto dock in here, and we'll actually go ahead and get our first mission.
Concordia salutes you, Captain.
Our first mission is gonna be relatively easy because we got Higgs following us. Let's go ahead and go job board. We're going to go ahead and do a search and destroy. Salvaging ones you can end up getting a lot of scrap from. So if you need a lot of scrap at the start of the game, I recommend you actually getting that. But first, let's go ahead and go here. Oh, ship. And construction. We're going to actually go ahead and build our tier 2. So the building on these things, they get instantly built, so you don't have to worry about them. Mining ops. So we need 400 for this one. It's going to be a little bit before we can actually do it.
Good luck.
So let's go ahead and, well, I didn't actually pick up the mission. That's also one thing I don't really like about this part, is when you accept a mission, it instantly kicks you out, and I wish it didn't do that. So it's going to take us a little bit to get there, and I'll cut us back once we actually get close, and I'll see you in just a second. Well, we're here, and we are actually taking on the guy already.
Mission completed.
And it was relatively easy, and I pressed space because I was trying to pause the game, and it went all over the place, so sorry about that. I hate that button, by the way. I should
adjusted.
Get rid of it and
Affirmative.
unbind it,
Engage
so I don't actually have to
sublight.
use it. Let's go ahead and go here and get a mission first. You'll come across a lot of anomalies that you could scan down. They're a decent amount, but I'm pretty bad at remembering what anomalies do what unless it's visible, like the radar stuff. And there's some missions that come across where you have to like scan the anomaly and try to guess, or not guess, but figure out what exactly the anomaly is doing. And if you guess wrong, you only get like half of the reward back. It's like here, there's no sign except for the part around it. Let's go ahead and scan you.
Scanning target.
Okay, and you can go ahead and come up here, and you can anomalies, and you can come here, and So you can read it, and you can like try to figure out what and try to remember what anomalies do what. But I'm pretty bad at that kind of
Acquiring new coordinates.
I don't know, figuring stuff out. So maybe I'll spend some time to actually try to learn
Engage sublight.
exactly what they do. 'Cause it will help out if you actually know what
reporting
they do
in. Make us proud.
without actually scanning for like missions later on. Let's go ahead and trade all of our junk away. You could, if you want, try to get the best, go to the best spot out of the places you have, but I don't know. It's kind of
Good luck.
I don't.
Initiating sublight.
I'm too lazy, I guess you'd say. It's gonna take us some time to get there. I'll bring us back once we actually get ready to cross into that lane, because we'll probably end up going and getting attacked by enemies. I'll see you in just a second. So we're about ready to actually cross in. Well, we already are crossed into it. Hopefully we don't end up going across.
All hands be advised. We've entered a hostile region.
Let's go ahead and scan this guy down.
Initiating sublight.
Out of sublight speed before I want to.
Initiating target scan.
Okay, there it is. And off we go. So on these ones, you have to go to each point and try to figure out where this person is. Sometimes you go in like a complete circle, and it's just kind of funny. And there he is. Let's do some boarding action. We might be able to take this one over if we can get to the med bay. I'm not going to do any pillaging because I'm more worried about taking over the ship. Later on we can do pillaging.
Front shield is at 50%.
And it's a good thing to actually pillage because you'll actually need it for like a skill later on that helps you actually take over more ships.
Port shield is at
We'll
half
have,
capacity.
I don't know, maybe like a 40% chance. At 53, nice.
Starboard shield is at half capacity.
Making
Sweet.
a name for ourselves,
So,
one job at a time.
Taking over the ship, you can either salvage the part for 231 minerals. You can make it ready for fleet action for 124. You can put it in my garage so I can drive it for 70,000 credits. I can sell and transfer credits for 140, or I can do research on it, which we don't actually have the whatever the arm of our spaceport that actually does research for like foreign ships, so we can actually build all the ships at our base. But me, I'm more interested in the materials because my last playthrough, I'm always really short on materials, and you don't get it until you take that on. Also, I've noticed one thing is like when you're also one thing I wanted to point out, because this was pointed out to me in my last playthrough, is like since the shields aren't up, right, you don't see them, you can look here and you can look at your shields. They're the rear shields, the right shield, the left shield, and the forward shield. They're all right there, and it represents and they slowly, you can see them slowly starting to get bigger. So if you're wondering where they are
set.
when you don't see them like displayed
Affirmative.
like, on the main thing,
Sublight.
it's right there. But thanks for letting me know where that is, and I just want to point it out so everyone else will know. Also, when you're actually doing like fighting, if you have like
all decks were flying through hostile space.
If you're worried about like your guns running out of energy, sorry, I hit my mic. Bring this thing all the way over down to here, and you'll have relatively enough energy to run all your guns. Also, if you're taking a lot of damage, you can move it over to defense, and if you want more speed, you move it towards speed. But note, if sometimes it will reset itself, and it will just stay stuck up there. So you have to keep an eye on it, and because sometimes it won't stay on like the main guns, and you have to like wonder why you're running out of energy. I haven't been using any of my bombs or my rockets just because, well, I have Higgs following me around. So I don't actually have to, but those come in handy as well, and they have their own like recharge, which you will see on your like display once you're actually in combat. Couple other things, you know, like down here. Okay, so it's a short range. It weakens the target's defenses. Like I picked Marauder, and I haven't actually messed around with these ones. I didn't really like the Vanguard one, the base one that you started with.
Concordia reads you.
It was like
Fly
a
safe
pull
and
and
fly
then an
swift.
explosion. I actually think these skills are going to be a lot better for what I want, because you're normally all like right and really close, and most of these weapons are like really close, and there's like a disable and a couple other things, but they're all like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll show you in just a second. Let's go ahead and go trader. We don't actually have anything. Dry dock, we don't have to do anything there, but I do want to get some more. These will stock after, I don't know if it's a week in game or not, but they will restock after a while.
You're
Let's
good
go
to
ahead
go.
and
See you again.
I'm gonna go ahead and we need that first, don't we? I want to, not you, please. Mining. So we're gonna go ahead and build this, and so it gets built instantly. Let's see how much it's gonna cost. It's gonna cost 100. Like I said, I'm more worried about scrap than anything else. So I'm gonna focus on getting those first, and then I'll get that, and then the 2 gas. Gas is a big, heavy part on like research, so it's gonna take some time. Let's go ahead and see if we can actually build anything. No, it's gonna be 300, 800, and 1,500. I would love to just start getting some of these, but I want to actually get the research and get the tier 2. They're just gonna be better overall. But we can't do research yet because we don't actually have the research station yet. So, but first I'm gonna get that, then I'll worry about the research. Let's go ahead and get another job though. Job board. There's a lot of search and destroys. I'm gonna try and do my best and try to get a lot
We bid you farewell.
ship captures. So note, you can come in here. When you come in here, go ship troopers, and you can see some information on your troopers. But the main thing right here is right here. Endurance. It's 31 of 31. If they are lower than that, that means their starting points when you actually go into the ship is going to be less, and you're not going to get as far. But on that note, let's go ahead and come in here. I don't want to do those yet. I want to actually look at those. Privateer. Increases boarding efficiency. So we're at 31. Let's go and activate you for 1 point. Personnel. So here's one that actually you can't actually upgrade on your own. You actually have to. Like here it says you need to take over 3 ships. I took over 1 when I was actually taking time to get where we were right before this episode, and so all we need now is just 1 more, and then we need 15 pillage points. You get pillage points fairly easy. Here's another one that increases the chance of taking over the bridge. So that means the bridge point capture is going to be less. So it's going to be pretty nice to actually get that. But I'm going to try and do my best to try to get as many captures as I can, because later in the game it's going to get harder and harder to actually capture this ship. and I want to get the captures done before it gets too hard. Weapons here, I'm gonna do railguns. I'm gonna stick with railguns because I know I just like railguns. So I'm gonna go ahead and what level are we actually? Nope. Records. We are level 3. So I am not gonna grab that because I actually want to. Not you. You. So I'm gonna get you as soon as I can. So let's go in here. We are at 31, right? Let's see if it changed it. So we're at 34 now. So it increases it by 3 points, so it's not too bad. So it's gonna take us all the way over here. But in the next episode, we'll go ahead and do that mission. But again, I can't even talk. But until then, thanks for watching, and if you like my content, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.